No, not TBR. Fall book recommendations. Lunch needs to be cooked. Kids need to be picked up. I would be a victim of such circumstances. Just to paint you a hot blazing picture. Hello Booksties, welcome to today's video. Okay, so here's what happened. I filmed this entire video about half an hour ago. And when I reviewed the footage, there was a major wardrobe malfunction. And unless I wanted there to be a huge blur on the screen, the only other option was for me to refilm the entire thing. You know, I've seen this happen to a lot of YouTubers where they're like, oh, you know, I filmed this video, there was no audio, I had to refilm. I never in my life thought I would be a victim of such circumstances, but alas, here we are. So this is technically take 2 of a very long, extensive fall book recommendations video. In the meantime, I'm not gonna lie, I had to take a break. I got myself a snack, and then I also made myself a little iced coffee. This cute mug says, easily distracted by books, in case you were wondering. It's a salted caramel iced coffee. Yeah. Anyhow, now that I've remotivated myself, let's get into it. So I am currently sat on the floor in front of my bookshelves because of this humongous pile of books I have in front of me. I can't even carry them to show you guys. I have everything from mysteries to thrillers to Gothic horror to dark academia to romance to fantasy, YA, like you name it, I have it. Let's see if I can film this video faster than I did the first time, because your girl has stuff to do and lunch needs to be cooked and kids need to be picked up from school. So I need to get a move on. Okay, let's start off with a bit of cozy mystery. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what each book is about. Otherwise, we're going to be here until the end of time, okay? It's going to be like the end of days, and I'm going to still be here talking about these books. So in order to avoid that, I'm just going to very briefly give you the gist, okay? And then we're going to move on. Okay, all right. Starting off with cozy mysteries. In my opinion, any book by Agatha Christie is perfect for fall. And another great thing about her books is that they are very small. No, small is not the right word. They're very short. There we go. If, let's say, you want something to read between different genres, I think an Agatha Christie little cozy mystery would be the perfect pick-me-up. Now, along the same lines of like mysteries, any book by Lisa Jewell would definitely do the trick. She writes somewhere in between like mysteries and thrillers. Her books are not purely thrillers. They have more of like a slower pace, more of a mystery element to them. She also writes about some heavy topics sometimes, so like search up trigger warnings. Here I have Then She Was Gone and The Family Upstairs. Both of these books are some of my favorites by her. And if you are looking for something that is more in the traditional sense of a thriller, then definitely try anything by Riley Sager. I find these two are perfect for this time of year. The Silent Patient and The Maidens, they are not a series, but they do take place in the same world. The Silent Patient, in my opinion, is definitely worth the hype, especially with that plot twist in the end. The Maidens, on the other hand, has a little bit less of like that dramatic effect, but it was good nonetheless, and it gave off very dark academic vibes. By Riley Sager, I have Home Before Dark, but this one reads a little bit more like a gothic horror thriller. So if you're into that, then definitely give this one a try. Daisy Darker gave off very strong Agatha Christie vibes when I read it. By Alice Feeney. She usually writes thrillers and mysteries, but this one in particular felt very Agatha Christie coded because this whole family reunites for the grandma's 80th birthday and a murder happens, and then obviously everybody who is present becomes a suspect. As for Dark Academia, these are the only 2 books I can currently recommend. The Secret History by Donna Tartt and If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. For me personally, I enjoyed If We Were Villains more. They are very, very similar books when it comes to the plot, the characters, the setting, the inner circle, the toxic relationships of the friend groups, even the era. They take place in the 90s, and they are very fitting for the gloomy, rainy days. Not that I would know, because I live in literally the hottest country on earth, but I like to be delusional and pretend that I am also participating in cozy season and autumn, hence like the little decorations. I have like a little pumpkin here. You know, I have fall candles everywhere, although it's like 54 degrees Celsius, which is like over 120 degrees Fahrenheit, just to paint you a hot blazing picture. This one, I don't know if I would categorize it as a fantasy. It's more like magical realism, I would say. It has dual timelines, so we're going back between the present and the past. The main character in this book, the one that is in the past, sells these like well disguised poisons to her customers. And then we also see the point of view of our female character in the present time, and then kind of how their like stories connect and intersect. Next, I have a fiction. This one is called The Reading List by Sarah Nisha Adams. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not mention the name of the author of The Lost Apothecary. Her name is Sarah Penner. As I was saying, The Reading List. This one kind of touches on grief and unusual friendships that could form between people as a result and bring them closer together. It also focuses a lot on reading and books and the love of books and how healing it can be. It was very heartwarming, very sweet, and it was very deep. Loved it. Before I tell you guys about all the fantasy and YA books, let me quickly go over the very small but significant romance recommendations. Here I have The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. She usually writes like modern day romance with a touch of magical realism. To be fair, nothing about this book is autumnal, except maybe for the fact that it takes place in like the publishing world. But something about it being like so academic kind of made me think that I should recommend it for this video. Then we have If He Had Been With Me. The only reason I'm recommending this one for fall is because it is such a dark and depressing and like sad book. I don't know, I just feel like it matches the whole rainy, dark season. I don't know, sue me, but here you go. If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. Don't say I didn't warn you. Is it worth it? I mean, yeah, probably. If you're into like soul damaging, heart wrenching stuff, then definitely give this one a try. Also, I have Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. This is a second chance romance, and the couple meets up after 15 years to kind of figure out where everything went wrong. And their romance takes place in their college days, so I feel that is also very like academic, very autumnal, etc. And the last romance recommendation is going to be this trilogy by Nicole Fiorina. I hope I'm saying her name right. The first book is called Stay With Me. The second one is called Even When I'm Gone. And the last one is called Now Open Your Eyes. Stay With Me, I actually read it twice. This is how much I am obsessed with this book, and I might read it a third time if I am willing to rip my heart out, which, I mean, who knows, right? Please search up all the trigger warnings for this series. It covers a lot of heavy topics, including mental health, just like a lot of heavy stuff. It takes place in this facility for like troubled youths. Like basically, if they don't want to be sent to prison, this is the place they send them to. And like a lot of stuff happens, a lot of shit happens there. There's also a romance. Like the main focus of the book is also the romance. I don't know, I'm obsessed. All right, now we can move on to everything YA. Before I start off with pure fantasy, I'm gonna mention some Gothic horror YA fantasy, and these are the books. They are by Aaron A. Craig. The first two, hold up. House of Salt and Sorrows and House of Roots and Ruin. These two books are in the same universe. Each one follows a different sister. Small Favors is not related to this duology. Something I love about this author is that she really knows how to paint a picture. Like, she makes you feel like you are right there with the characters living in this very dark, gothic kind of universe where all this like weird stuff happens. There's always an element of creepiness, very eerie, very spooky, but also magical. Obviously, they're fantasies, so they are going to be magical. But to me, what I love the most is her writing style. I had to fix my seating position because my legs were getting numb. I could not make a fall book recommendations video without mentioning One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. It is YA fantasy. It is very dark, very atmospheric, very, very unique. I have never read a fantasy series with such unique magic system. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to spoil it. I would highly recommend going into it blind. Fantastic. Also, I keep forgetting to mention the author's name. This duology is by Rachel Gillig. Now, Sorcery of Thorns is by Margaret Rogerson. It is a standalone. It is very cozy. I feel it's perfect for any Harry Potter lovers out there. It is whimsical. It is magical. There are these books that almost feel like creatures in this magical library. There is also friendship, and there is a side of romance. Okay, I have two more series to go. The first one is a YA fantasy series, The Prison Healer. It's a trilogy, actually. This series was phenomenal, in my opinion. Even though it is YA, I found it to be very high stakes, very serious, nothing silly, no cringiness, no funny business like a lot of the other YA books tend to be. Books 1 and 2 end on cliffhangers, so keep that in mind if you want to give it a try, because you are going to want to pick up the next book. And finally, I have Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. She's the same author as... Oh, hold on. Again, forgot. The Prison Healer series is by Lynette Noni. Now we can go back to Jack the Ripper. Carrie Maniscalco is the same author as, Kingdom of the Wicked. But this is actually not fantasy. This is historical fiction, YA. The main character here is a medical examiner, or like she's aspiring to be a medical examiner. And on the side, she kind of acts like Sherlock Holmes. It was very fun, very sweet. There was also a romance in there. The romance was just like so adorable. And each book we kind of followed her and her love interest as they go and try to like solve these mysteries while they are trying to make it through medical school. All right, booksies, I am officially beat. Oh my god. I have been rambling on for 18 minutes, so I guess both videos took the same amount of filming. Let's hope there are no more malfunctions in this one, because if there is, I am gonna scream. Let me know in the comments down below what is on your fall TBR, or what fall books you would like to recommend to me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!